He didn't falter. He didn't panic. But when Jannik Sinner lifted the ATP Finals trophy in Turin, it left one question hanging in the air. Has Carlos Alcaraz finally found his Achilles heel? Welcome back to NETRUSHREPORT. Today, we're diving into the intense aftermath of the 2025 ATP Finals, the highs and lows of Carlos Alcaraz's season, and the speculation around whether the Spaniard's luck is finally running thin at the year-end showdown. Carlos Alcaraz arrived in Turin riding one of the most dominant seasons in recent memory. He reclaimed the world #1 ranking earlier this year, a position he initially earned after his US Open triumph. The Spaniard's versatility across surfaces has been remarkable. Even on clay, which he admits is his least favorite, he managed to capture the French Open crown. Fans have come to expect brilliance from him week in and week out, and yet, the ATP Finals seem to expose a vulnerability that even his closest competitors could sense. In Turin, Alcaraz reached the semifinals without dropping a single set, demolishing opponents and appearing almost untouchable. His semifinal clash against Felix Auger-Aliassime, the Canadian rising star who has been quietly solidifying his place among the elite, seemed like a formality. Alcaraz handled it with ease, setting the stage for a showdown everyone anticipated. The final against Italy's own Jannik Sinner, but in that final, Alcaraz faltered. Sinner, who had clawed his way through the draw and captured the Paris Masters earlier this year, showcased a level of resilience and tactical precision that left even the Spaniard struggling to find his rhythm. The result? Sinner lifted the trophy, and Alcaraz was left to ponder a rare defeat on a stage where expectations run sky-high. This has sparked conversations among former ATP stars. Sam Querrey and John Isner, both seasoned veterans of the tour, recently weighed in on whether the ATP Finals might be becoming a stumbling block for Alcaraz, similar to how it did for Rafael Nadal. Nadal, after all, has long struggled at the year-end event, despite his dominance in Grand Slams and Masters 1000 tournaments. Isner posed the question first, suggesting that perhaps Alcaraz's performance in Turin indicates a pattern, that the Spaniard's brilliance during the season doesn't always translate to the ATP Finals. Querrey agreed to some extent, but added a crucial nuance. Carlos doesn't care about the ATP Finals the way he does for the Grand Slams. His focus has always been the majors, and that's where his heart truly lies. That perspective sheds light on Alcaraz's mindset. While the ATP Finals is prestigious, it's not the pinnacle of achievement for the Spaniard. His season has been defined by Grand Slam victories and record-breaking performances rather than year-end points. This isn't to diminish the finals, but it does help explain why he might not have left everything on the court in Turin. It may not have been important to him in the way Sinner's victory became monumental for the Italian. Looking back over Alcaraz's year, his journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. He has been compared to the big three, Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, not just for his dominance, but also for his flair and sportsmanship. Alcaraz often draws comparisons to Federer for his elegance and composure on court, and he has himself admitted that a hypothetical Wimbledon final against the Swiss legend would see Federer shine. That level of self-awareness and respect for tennis history speaks volumes about his maturity, even at just 21 years old. Despite the setback in Turin, Alcaraz is already turning his attention to the 2025 Davis Cup, representing Spain before closing out his season. Reports suggest he has undergone an MRI to investigate a minor injury, which adds another layer of context to his performance in Turin. Players at this level often battle through physical strain, and Alcaraz's decision to prioritize recovery for the Davis Cup reflects a long-term perspective rather than short-term glory. It's also worth noting the broader narrative of Alcaraz versus Sinner this year. The two have clashed multiple times, with Sinner now claiming some crucial victories, including the Paris Masters and ATP Finals title. This rivalry, reminiscent of past greats battles, is shaping up to define the next era of men's tennis. Alcaraz may not have left Turin with the trophy, but these experiences are sharpening his competitive edge, adding resilience that could make him even more formidable in future Grand Slam campaigns. Querrey and Isner's discussion highlights a fascinating point. Not every loss is a failure. Sometimes, it's a strategic pause, a recalibration for the bigger goals ahead. For Alcaraz, the ATP Finals might not be the ultimate prize, but it remains a valuable lesson. one that could fuel his drive for 2026 and beyond. So, does Turin mark a chink in Alcaraz's armor? Possibly, but it doesn't define him. With Grand Slam ambitions, a growing rivalry with Sinner, and the Davis Cup on the horizon, Alcaraz's story is far from over. If anything, the ATP Finals defeat may serve as a reminder that even the most dominant players face moments that challenge their rhythm, resilience, and perspective. Carlos Alcaraz's season has had highs, lows, and everything in between. He has displayed brilliance, sportsmanship, and strategic intelligence that few can match. And while the ATP Finals may not have been his stage this time, the Spaniard is already preparing for the next chapter in his career, one where every setback is a setup for a comeback. And that's it for today on NETRUSHREPORT. If you're following the Alcaraz Sinner saga and want all the latest insights from the ATP Tour, make sure to subscribe. Tennis history is being written in real time, and you don't want to miss a moment.